But also, first of all, Elisha. Right. Like, I'm so sorry.
Why?
And also, like, I'm not saying that like anything is like worth that, but it's like
Anybody.
Hi guys, it's been a while. It's been a while.
It's not really been that much of a while now. 1 week.
It feels like a while to me.
I mean, yeah,
Also, it's not 1 week. We haven't had an episode in 3 weeks. All right. We haven't had an episode in 3 weeks. I know we didn't put anything out and we didn't say anything. That's actually really irresponsible.
No. I don't even think it's irresponsible, guys, because I feel like we should be living.
We should at least say something.
It was a mid-season finale.
Girl, 4 episodes does not a mid-season make. Apologies, guys, if you went last week and you were like,
it was Oinda's birthday, so like
yeah,
literally,
man. I came back and I was just like, yeah, I don't want to do anything.
We needed a moment to recoup as well, just like to
even at work last week, yesterday, Lola was like, oh, like, wait, why aren't you working? I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't want to.
Like, she's still on vacation her head.
This past week, I'm not going to lie, I've put in maybe like 50% productivity. So come Monday,
back to it.
I'm going hard. Come Monday, I'm going hard because I have so much shit to catch up on. But super excited to be back, guys. Welcome to Side A, the podcast. I am your host, Oinda, aka Big O, the biggest O that you know. Bars.
Hey. And I'm Lola, aka Fun Girl, aka just the baddest bitch. Come on,
cute.
Don't know what else to say.
You have a little cleavage going today. It's nice. You go, girl. You go. As usual, Lola was late, but it's okay today because she made us breakfast.
That's why I was late.
Call time was an hour ago.
It was not an hour ago.
Call time was an hour ago.
It was not an hour ago.
Call time was 12. Call time was 12.
Okay, so did you want to eat breakfast or you did not eat breakfast?
First of all, you didn't make breakfast for me.
I made breakfast for the home.
The reason you made breakfast. It wasn't for me.
Breakfast for the home.
Tell me right now that if it was only 2 of us here, you'd have made breakfast before a session.
I mean, the breakfast items were provided.
I don't think.
Yeah. But
whatever.
I had to make food for the home.
Let me tell you guys, Lola is always late to call time. You people should caution her in the comments. Thank you very much.
Okay, now as you caution me, next week, now what? Oh wow, these people on the internet say I should be on time.
Yes, we owe that to them.
Oh, I owe that to y'all like so hard.
You owe it to me.
I owe it to you too, girl.
Yeah,
but then you didn't. But you did not make breakfast today, and that is.
And what was your excuse all the other times? Why are you rubbing my shoulder?
The thing is that I wasn't even rubbing.
Do you see how my shoulder is peeling?
Yeah, that's actually really.
That's crazy. So embarrassing.
It's not even embarrassing. It's actually kind of nice. I actually just love the concept of a tan. Like it's just great.
My tan, guys. I can't very well, this YouTube where this is we gotta keep it. We have to keep it clean, but I have a really nice nice
a PG-16 show.
Is it 16? Yeah, I think 16 is a good age.
I actually think it's PG-16.
Yeah, 16, 15, maybe 15.
PG-16.
We don't really be getting, we don't really be in the nitty gritty, but
it's just two people with sailor's mouth.
Yeah,
and
that's the one thing. I think if there was any advisory, it would mostly be language.
Yeah,
I think it's language. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but other than that, it's not really that much explicit content. We just be vibing.
We just be here, cute.
Anyway,
so
how was your week? What's on side A for you?
What's on? That's a twofer.
I'm
like, that's a twofer. Like, damn.
Also, guys, if you don't know what this is, please get to know. If your liquor store doesn't have this,
you guys are missing out.
This is actually
this is
I think it's the first time we've talked about it, but like this is usually
literally this is our little drink that we always have on the side.
Get you a tip top, specifically the margarita one. You guys have
probably already seen me like in different episodes, like having a little sip. This
shit. Look at the thing; it's so tiny, but
so good. Like literally,
what does it say? 52 proof. Oh.
Yeah, it's quite strong.
26% alcohol in this.
It's very,
little thing.
very, very strong, but a very good cocktail.
Yeah, it tastes really good. I would
yeah.
suggest mixing it though.
She likes to mix it. I do like it out of the can, but like, hey, you know,
Alright, girl.
do what you like.
Okay,
do what you like.
girl.
Do what you like.
Yeah.
But the way you just like went back and forth
Sorry,
just now,
dear.
it's okay. But how am I? I'm okay. I'm chilling.
Your skin looks nice.
Thank you. I've really been trying to fix it. It's been going
Even
through a
your
rough
puff,
time.
you know. It's giving clean, girl.
Please. You guys, I don't have eyeliner on today, and honestly, the shame that I'm feeling on the inside is so deep.
Mind you, she has a wing on. It's just there's no bottom. Like, you look fine.
How will people know that I'm rock and roll?
Okay, girl. All right.
Why?
Girl,
But
please.
yeah, my week's been okay. We saw Donley, so
we saw Donley
I feel like
on Wednesday.
midweek it was already just like, oh, this is like
Yeah.
vibes.
That definitely put a
Yeah.
to the week.
I had a job interview as well. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
You know,
fingers
we're
crossed.
getting
Hopefully next
it.
episode we can come on.
Papa, something. In Jesus' name, man. Like, you guys don't even know this
Send
journey.
positive
This
affirmations
journey,
and vibes.
please. Like, so I guess it's been going well, but I felt disastrously sick.
Yeah, she was hung.
You know something?
It wasn't even hungover.
It's
It
not
was alcohol
hungover.
poisoning.
It's alcohol
It was alcohol poisoning.
It's alcohol
for
poisoning
sure.
for sure, because that is not a hangover.
That wasn't a hangover.
By any means.
Yeah.
No.
It was alcohol poisoning
I had
for
a fever.
sure.
I could not eat. And you guys, I'm always saying this thing, and I won't say the brand so that they don't have bad PR, but rum is not good.
It rhymes with Tacardi. The brown one.
In specific. No, literally, the one that's like gold, right?
Yeah.
No, literally, it's the... you guys, anyways.
She was not well.
I was
So
not
imagine
well.
somebody that is like shaking and throwing up, having to wear tie. No, she literally wore a tie.
Yeah.
And do a job interview. I respect you, Shad.
No,
you
guy,
did your
no,
best.
No. I don't think I've ever respected myself so much until that very moment, because in between I was actually throwing up, and I was throwing. No, I wish I could tell you
Man.
guys. I literally was putting on my clothes and like having to take a moment, throw up, get my tie on properly, put eyeliner, even if. God knows what it did for me, but honestly,
You looked a mess. I'm
honestly,
not gonna hold you. You looked
like-
a mess.
But honestly, no, it's because you think I look a mess because you saw the full outfit. I had sweatpants and it
wasn't a good vibe.
But I mean, top up,
Tucking your
top up.
shirts into God.
guys.
Man.
I'm a hustler at the end of the day.
At the
I
end
need
of
to
the
go
day.
I need to go get mine. Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I keep saying like, this is like my last year broke, and I'm so serious.
Period.
Like, I'm not kidding. Like,
Period.
I have
Same
things-
old.
I have things to do. Like, I have things to do, and I do need the bag to multiply. So you know, you have to get it together either way. But what's on side A for me, though? What is on side A for me? Oh, actually, what's on side A for me is what?
Is what?
It's actually healing sounds, like binaural beats. Like, I don't know.
What is that, like white noise?
Yeah, like white noise or rain sounds, or just
You know what's so funny? I went on Fun Girl Radio the other
Oh,
day and
yeah.
I saw it there. I was like,
Yeah. Oh no. I'm obsessed. Like, I've like, hey guys, if you really need to sleep, I just have to say it really works out. And my insomnia is supposed to be like super bad right now, but like I've been finding it just very much easier to just like, you know, fall into the sleep. You just like it stops the noise like in your thoughts. So yeah, I don't know why this is my side A today, but like that
Why not?
actually is my side A. Like I'm going through like an
I
internal
love white noise.
Yeah.
I've been sleeping with white noise for over a year.
It's really
the
amazing.
same one too on Headspace. If
Yeah.
you guys don't have Headspace, I mean,
I have
don't pay
Headspace,
for it.
yeah.
I get it free with my job, but
Yeah.
there is like a free version if you don't want to pay for it.
If you don't have even if you don't have Headspace, go on like your regular streaming apps, like literally,
or even YouTube.
anything. Like it's amazing and it's so calming and just like I don't know, it makes it easy to think, to sleep, to just organize. Because I think I have a lot of like mental disorganization.
Yeah.
So it's really helping to just like slow down and just like, you know,
Yeah.
think a little. But yeah, that's what's on side A for me.
Okay,
What's on side A
cute.
for
I thought you were going to say the movie we watched yesterday. I would like to talk about it though,
but,
just briefly.
okay,
Just briefly.
But that should be your side A, no?
It's not my side A though. But just
Okay, but just intermission.
you just quick mention, right? Just quick mention, right? Obviously, like Lola and I really love Indian movies, right? I feel like we grew up watching them. It's like a staple in our household.
Yeah. Shout out Auntie Stella, we love you.
Shout out Auntie Stella, shout out Auntie Tina as well, because
We love
they
you
both put us
guys.
on. But yesterday we watched, what was it called? Kuch.
Kuchi Hota High.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It was, I've watched it before, but I don't think I paid as much attention to it. I knew that
I
I'd
feel
watched
like
it before.
I watched it when I was
because
way
I knew
younger.
the songs, and
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, I have watched this before. That film was so
good.
yesterday. But what I would like to table is, if you've watched the film, or if you're going to watch the film, if you want to set
Bisexual
aside a
rights.
little, just a short, quick 3 hours.
3 hours.
If you want to set that
30
aside,
minutes.
I'm sorry, but I think Bollywood movies are worth the 3 hours that they take.
Yeah.
I
The
think
plot
so,
lines,
because there's always
spotless.
3 acts. Like there's
Yeah.
literally always 3 acts. So I'm like, yeah, fair enough. Like do that. I don't mind it. But that storyline was so good. Essentially, like the synopsis is this, right? The main guy in the story, basically, it starts with his wife and the love of his life basically dying in childbirth. She
Yeah.
actually did not die in childbirth. She
Childbirth.
looked perfectly
Oh
fine
my
after
God.
the baby.
First of all.
She was perfectly fine. She dies shortly after.
I just want to say justice for Tina.
Justice for Tina.
Because she didn't need to die. Where were the doctors? The doctors could have
She
popped
didn't
back into that
deserve to
room and
die.
saved her because
Mind you, she looked flawless.
she had time to even write letters
She wrote
to
letters
her
for her child
for every year of her life. What?
Anyway,
I think they could have helped.
So she dies or whatever. So basically, she writes these letters. Fast forward like 8 years. Her daughter is 8 years old. Duh. And so the birthday letter that the child reads is basically like to get her dad reunited with his college best friend.
Also, a lot to
Who
put
is
on
like
an
the love of
8-year-old.
his life, bruh.
Tina,
I don't know why that was
I
for
don't
the
know
8th
why it was
birthday.
the 8th birthday that you were like, oh yeah,
Maybe
he's
13.
probably like. I feel like in her head she was like, oh, he's probably still alone and not
for sure.
because she did write in the letter where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I know he's definitely still
No,
lonely,
yeah.
you know, and not in a relationship, you know.
But the whole
Hey.
thing is just basically like a plot to get him back together, not back together, but to get him together with his
best friend,
his college best friend, who
yeah.
is the love of his life, who loved him right at
Yeah.
the time, but didn't tell him that.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, if you watch the movie, there is so much bisexual panic.
Bisexual.
And really,
It's
want
a
to
polyamorous
shake
relationship.
I want to shake the TV and be like, you could all be together.
This is just a throuple.
Everyone could just be together
3
because
tickets
the
to
two
Challengers,
girls,
please.
the 2 girls loved each other dead ass, very much. That also, did you see that the person that wrote Challengers is married to the person that wrote Past Lives?
Yeah, dude.
They have a third.
Elevator.
They have a third,
They do.
and you can't convince me otherwise. They have a third. Either that, or they've had a few thirds throughout their relationship, and there's some. I'm waiting for a biopic.
Wait.
What happened?
That's interesting.
Yes.
Luca is married.
Yes,
Wow.
they are married. Like, what is that about? They have a third for sure. Anyway, that movie, the entire situation could have been solved if everybody just decided to be together. They all loved each other.
Oh my god,
And I think they could have worked it out.
and Angeli, they really,
In fact, they are
really.
at a point, I'm like,
This
you guys
was-
could leave this man out of it. You know that,
like
right?
honestly, it was like, and when she found out that she died and she literally started to crumble, I said, well,
She loved that babe. The eye contact that they were all making. That one scene where she's crying after like she didn't like people didn't like the outfit.
Yeah.
And then she comes and she's basically in the middle of them. I'm like, 3-way kiss.
it's just
3-way kiss.
just you guys all hug. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be
let's
fine.
get it together.
But honestly, that is such a beautiful
such a good
movie.
movie.
It just and it really, I have a very impenetrable like top 5 in my like rom-com
And it made it to her
list,
top 5.
and it's number 2. It literally went all the way up to number 2.
It's that good.
It's that
highly
good.
recommend.
I would suggest for sure. Also, okay, actually no. I was gonna say you guys should follow me on Letterboxd, but don't. Thank
Why
you.
not?
I don't want it.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you. I don't want it. Sorry.
I would say follow me, but I really don't do anything on there but log my films.
But that's the thing. I mean, you can follow me, but I can't ensure that I follow you back. I follow exactly.
Oh, you know, I met someone on
there.
Hinge who's like famous on Letterboxd.
I mean, I think being famous on like Letterboxd is such a flex
I think
because
that's such a flex. Like that's the most attractive thing about
means your
them.
reviews are like amazing.
That is the most attractive thing about them.
Sorry.
I was like, oh,
Come on now.
This is probably exposing me because they definitely do not know that I found their social media and their Letterboxd.
Hey.
But
Okay.
hey, I do my due diligence. This is a good segue into my side A because what's on side A for me is crushes. I have a crush.
She has a crush.
I don't know. It's not to talk about the crush that I have, but to talk about the concept of crushes. It's just so
whimsical.
It's so nice. I know, like there's an apprehensiveness towards like the Lola. What is this? Please. There's like an apprehensiveness towards like the initial like infatuation and blah blah blah, but it's so nice.
Yeah,
it's refreshing.
It's really refreshing.
You go around like through the day with like a little like pep in your step, like
it's like a
ha ha ha, kicking my feet, and I'm not a kicking my feet kind of girl.
She really is not.
So it's cute. What was that? Oh, Signal.
Thank you,
Jacob. Yeah, but I don't know, like it's nice, and like I advocate for crushes and
you guys, assistant producer.
Yeah, she needs to really you get that she be sometimes she knows she's really not on job the way she should be, but she's doing her best. She kind of got recruited out of nowhere, so no problem.
It's okay.
Yeah, but that's what's on side A for me, crushes. If you have a crush, shout out to you.
Shout out to y'all. I'm so sorry. I love a nice gay.
If I come here next week and I'll be like,
who said that?
No, fuck that hoe.
Who said that? Who said that? Who in the world said that?
That's very much me.
Yes.
But,
no, I love a lovey-dovey moment. I love I love flutters.
Yeah.
I love the idea of flutters.
Also, I love like a really good first date. Like just a solid first date. It's just
it does the trick. It does the trick.
I just yeah. I don't like to get too personal on here, so that's all I'll say, but
okay, let's head to side B.
Let's skip to side B. Thank you. It's actually the most unsettling thing I've ever seen. Bro. What are you guys doing?
No, seriously.
I did it.
Did what? Who did she murder?
Stay with me on the journey. Help me. Motivate me.
What did you do, girl?
Mind you, she went to Soul Cycle.
What?
It's like she went to Soul Cycle, or she got like
or Stairmaster. Like I don't understand.
She rumbled for the first time and she didn't die.
That bitch is sweating. I'm like, guard. Where is the attendant? Where is the attendant? That bitch is sweating.
That's what I'm saying. She did.
And she's like, stay with me on the journey, help me.
But she
do you need to let us know what?
No, she did Soul Cycle.
What kind of help do you need?
Oh, I think it's Taekwondo or something.
And she looks like she's in some kind of
I told you. I knew it was some kind of workout class.
Yeah.
It was some kind of workout
She needs to
class.
take that video down. She needs to take that video down.
I did it. I'm on this journey. I know.
Okay.
What do you know?
Honestly, sometimes you just come here, your mind will just.
You're like,
You see sometimes every time I sit down on this chair, I don't know what I'm about to say next.
I feel like-
But maybe
I'm
that's
scared.
that's the beauty
I
of this
love it.
episode.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm the perfect
The
person.
perfect
Yeah.
person, exactly.
He's someone that does tangents. Like,
This is a Yapper podcast.
This is a
We
Yapper
love that.
podcast
episode.
of tangents.
This is a Yapper episode. I don't know.
Oh, that's what we're calling it, the Yapper episode.
Yeah,
Titular line, period. You guys have another guest. Hey.
Second guess,
At a point, I know at the point when everybody was watching, they're like, I thought you said guest.
Yes.
Plural. Yeah, we have more, but we're giving you guys quality.
You know.
Yeah.
We have to tease the tea, you know. You can't have everything at once.
You have to think
you know?
about who you're bringing onto the pod.
Exactly.
Right.
No, because you not come and bring somebody. Next thing. One thing about me is I hate embarrassment and I hate being associated with nonsense.
First of all,
because
You already know me. I'll just go mute. Like I'll just stop talking.
Bruh,
It's just
even
very
the other
bad.
day
I'll
when
stop
Ruga
talking.
was doing his whole
Yeah.
clinical, I was like, let me
Ruga.
scroll to the bottom of our page and delete that video.
No,
Oh, that's
We literally
right.
have a video where
Oh,
we're
that-
like,
oh my God, about Ruga.
Do you mean that tweet where he's like, you come to your last
Yes.
Yes.
Isn't that fucking
Isn't
diabolical?
that
But you know the crazy
That's
part?
such a diabolical thing to say.
The crazy part
what?
is he's the exact type of person to say some shit.
But I
like
feel like
that.
that's so diabolical to say. First of all,
But saying it off a track.
but also, first of all, Elisha.
Right.
Like, I'm so sorry. I just-
Why?
I also like. I'm not saying that like anything is like worth that, but it's like
Anybody?
Elisha.
Is it private? It's
not that
You didn't even say like 2 get your boat across. What do you mean? Elisha. Okay, maybe you don't have the house there, but I reach the beach now. So
No, your friend next week will call you and say, "Let's
Sunday,
go." Please,
So,
please.
why not?
It's the
Please.
exact type of person
It's
to
actually
say
not
that.
that-
to.
Like, I'm not even shocked. I don't know why. Like, I was shocked.
I had to leave Twitter recently, guys.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think it raises my blood pressure.
leave.
Yeah.
I think it's first of all it raises my blood pressure. Like I'm not like exaggerating when I say this. I actually mean like there was a while when like I had high blood pressure and I knew it was Twitter.
Because of Twitter.
Second, I keep getting fucking because of fucking Elon Musk's situation. They don't. There's no regulation whatsoever.
There's
I was like,
not.
At all.
So. Like people will comment vile shit, and obviously I have to comment viler shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't have to.
Like
For the
I
principle.
do. Like
But
I
off
do.
the principle.
Like,
Off the
whip.
principle.
It's like you say some crazy shit to me, or like one thing about me is that once my friends are involved, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like it's like you're calling my friends these names.
Wait,
you're
are you
doing
like
these things.
Twitter famous? Like how many followers did you have?
At one point I had to go to my followers, but again that can't go brand. I
So
had
you're
a couple
Twitter
accounts.
famous?
I had a couple accounts. No, but like I have friends who are Twitter famous.
Okay,
so
fair.
they're
Yeah.
constantly under like attack on the
Yeah.
internet. So I'm just like I want to fight, but then I end up being the one that
Yeah,
fights.
yeah.
Yeah. You now end up in the
Now you're-
crossfire.
But I think is that I just need to stop saying certain things on
Yeah.
the internet. Like I don't want to
Did
give
you
examples.
deactivate or did you just
No, I
delete
just
the
deleted
app?
the app because like. Then after I was getting notifications from like obviously Twitter being like this tweet you made is like against our guidelines. Like first of all, this is against your guidelines. Granted, probably it was because what I said was not. I think I said something about like calling me dumb, and then I was like, your mom is dumb and your dad is a bastard, and then I said
No.
and then I said you should.
What was wrong?
What
was wrong?
guidelines?
What did I do wrong?
What was the-
What is it? What is he fucking me for? Because at the end of the day, it's like you called me dumb, and I called your mom dumb for keeping you. So I don't understand how I'm the bad guy here. Granted,
Hey.
sometimes
Hey.
I will say some things that are not meant to be said to people, like delete yourself
know
from
what I
existence.
believe?
Not delete yourself from existence. But not in those words, though.
People like you were put on earth for a reason because
Exactly.
I feel like a lot of people try to be very
needed,
like
though. It's
you know
needed.
G-rated with how they
No.
deal with people. No, and some people don't deserve that.
needed.
They don't deserve it.
Some people
needed.
deserve
No,
violence.
I live for a
Like,
fighter.
Some people
I
deserve
live for a
violence.
fighter.
Some people deserve violence, and I think
I
that's
almost
the
wish
thing.
I was like that. It's just that
have
like
to.
I
I'm
used
just
to at a
like
point
my
on
soul is
Twitter.
just
No, I
permanent
stopped.
I
peace.
think
I
my
have to
turning
stop.
point was maybe
Bruh.
like 2018.
No, I
I
had to
used
stop.
to be.
I had to stop because like
Ijaya,
that's why everyone's
Ijaya
like
on
you're always
Twitter.
arguing on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's why everyone is like you're always arguing on Twitter, and I'm like, I can't stop.
Bruh.
Because why? Like it's like so. The Twitter people say dumb.
The dumbest, the dumbest
like,
shit.
I keep comments like read a book. Like I promise you.
I have so many muted words at this point though, where it's like my timeline is so sterilized beyond like recognition, because like even if I see something one time, I just of course no at this point it's needed.
Because if I didn't mute Big Bang, I would have gotten in trouble.
Because at the beginning it's like, okay, key, are we laughing? Are we not laughing? And then niggas start stuffing their clothes and like. Yeah. Suddenly people are putting pillows in their bags.
Yeah, and then people are like, hey guys, this is fat phobic. And they're like, actually, it's about me. I'm not talking about anyone else but myself. And you guys are so like, sensitive. And it's like, bitch,
and
you're like, damn,
in a makeshift fat suit right
like,
now.
You're in a crazy fat suit.
Like, don't you feel crazy? Like what's going on?
This is wild. Like
you're in a fucking fat suit, and I'm the one who's crazy, feeling, hey, I'm just fat phobic. Or like, even though it's like, okay, and I'm like, I don't want to get into the history of fat phobia.
They don't care though.
They don't care.
Oh my god! You know what actually released me on Twitter was just trying to just
people
niggas
are haters. Niggas are haters.
Y'all just hating, so
they don't give a fuck.
People are spiteful. They do it literally justified. Literally, like people comment things that are crazy justified, and I'm just like, you know,
no, like you're coming at me, I'm gonna come at you.
I think my friend made a tweet one time where she's like, someone said, oh, it's just it's bait, and she goes, I'm a little fish, and I always literally. She's like, I'm a little fish, and I always bite the bait, and I'm like, you're so real. Because me too. I'm a little fish, and I always bite the bait. Like I'm always like, you know what I mean? Like you know, they're baiting you. Okay. Well, I made it. I'm a fish and it's shiny. I'm a fish and it's shiny, and I want to talk about it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like
Dan, you're a Scorpio, right?
Oh yeah. I think I also like need to stop wishing people death, and I think that's one of my. It should be. It should be one of my New Year's resolution for 2025 because.
No,
we can start right now.
No, I feel like not right now because I'm not like some people deserve to be told that because I will never say it if you're just like chilling and being a dick. Being a dick is not warranted for you to say it. Kill yourself. What is warranted for you to say that is when you're like being a bigot and a dick. Like for example, it's like you're chronically harassing somebody because they're not doing what you want or like you think you disagree. So you're going and you're like trying to dox them. Maybe you should kill yourself.
Okay, can we talk about it's always the people on the left side that are always doxing people?
I've seen the both though.
Wait, really?
Yes. I want my friend made a tweet about Lyft. I don't know if you saw that. Made a tweet about, she had like a tweet where like, they were just like, you know, this guy's annoying me.
Yeah.
Everyone on Twitter was like, yo, you're trying to get this man fired. You're trying to make his job all right. I'm like, I promise you,
it's wild.
It was never that.
Every day people are participating in getting people done.
I think also like people have this very, very weird obsession with like public lashing and having like this air of superiority about them.
Yeah.
And I think
it's jungle justice
on the internet.
Revamped.
I really think stonings would like have like such a big comeback. If like a couple of people suggested it, people would love that shit.
If the right thing was brought
and if there was virtual attendance, because you know bitches don't want to be seen outside participating. If there was virtual attendance, that shit would be so fucking viral.
It's so Black Mirror though, like bruh.
But the thing is, like, people
that shit happened today.
People love a lashing. People love a lashing. They love a public lashing. They love when like their least favorite like is like getting dragged for no reason.
For sure.
And it's like mind you, it'll be the most random. Like Twitter,
and people love in moments where they can come and say,
I never liked them. Oh my god, I knew it. I knew something was off.
Unlike you, I'm saying for this.
You guys have. I think there's a bitterness in people's hearts lately, and
there's a loneliness epidemic.
It's actually people's hearts are black.
But there's a loneliness epidemic. That's ultimately
for sure. For sure.
Niggas don't got friends and niggas don't got hobbies.
We talked about this earlier.
Nobody is going to touch grass anymore.
Literally, we talked about this early last season where we were talking about people like trying to find community off of like a lack of empathy. Like trying to find community over like just pure unadulterated negativity.
Turn their back on you when the time comes.
Absolutely.
They don't have empathy.
They will drive you
to find your thing.
Yeah,
bro.
Everyone's waiting to find like the thing to like pick out.
You guys know what we didn't do?
What?
Who is this even?
I'm just a random bitch from Atlanta.
Who even is this?
I'm just a random nigga from Atlanta. I'm a random nigga from Atlanta. I'm so sorry. sorry, babe. I'm not trying to say I'm so sorry, but like I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like
I'm not sorry for that
I'm
bitch
praying
no more.
for you
She's
because
nuts.
there has to be something
She even
going on.
came back. She even came back, right? And she was doing a story time. This was maybe like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
and she was doing her makeup. The makeup
Was
the
empty.
powder was empty.
And he,
She's
was like,
rubbing.
he released
This
like
girl.
like
You've not
images
seen
of
any
her.
videos about random man from Atlanta?
Have you not?
No.
I want to tell you about Random Man from Atlanta. So this
Wait,
girl-
introduce yourself
Hi.
first. You have to.
Hi.
Because who even is this?
Hi, I'm Diane.
Now the voice has gone down.
I'm Diane. I am AKA Kaucasity.
Oh,
For many of you
oh, later.
Those of you on the
Who might
internet.
know?
who might know, I don't know. I'm just a little guy.
But do you dance?
What do I do? I be on the internet a lot.
As we've established.
Right? I'm in grad school. I'm a
love a student.
I'm
love
also
grad
like
school.
I'm also like
Academia.
I'm a connoisseur of hobbies. I love hobbies, so I be collecting them like Pokemon cards.
What's your
Yeah.
current hobby?
I'm learning the violin and I'm crocheting. So those are my
learned the violin.
obsessions.
Have crochet.
It's
Like, you see, like it's like
Yeah.
people need fucking hobbies.
No,
That's
for
what I
real.
think. It's like,
For
get off
For
the
real,
fucking
I
internet.
cannot wait to just like start leaning back into
Get
my
off the
hobbies.
internet.
Like,
Get off
for
the internet.
real.
Read a book. Go do a hobby.
Please.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm also Nigerian. Like
You know,
obviously.
You're right. It's right. It's right. Boop, 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 boop.
we in here.
But also not really. Not really.
Who's on?
Oh.
Who's on? Not really.
As well,
But
Nigeria.
not too much.
Not right. Oh,
Like-
not
Yeah,
right.
not too much. Not too much.
Not too much.
Not rapping like
though.
that, but
we're
like,
not, we're
hey.
not like like
Yeah, we're not squaring up for
Red,
Nigeria,
But
but
you know,
you know,
it is where we're from.
quietly
so.
and respectfully.
like acknowledging my ancestry. But there is an air of shame.
There's always
There's
an
always an air of shame. I think you saw that list where someone said that one of the biggest economies in the world, and like Nigeria is on like the upper, like who's one of the biggest economies in the world? And it was like Nigeria's on the list. And my friend said it to me. He was like, "I feel like they're toying with us."
Like, is this a joke?
Is
this a joke?
I'm like, what? I'm like, yes,
Because
it is, but like people are starving. That's what
Yeah,
Please.
most people are starving.
Most people are
so
starving.
really, do you really deserve to
The-
be on any sort of list?
the entire economy is
80%
actually
of, like,
poor.
bruh,
Right.
Come on now.
We can also, but at least we're not the most miserable country in the world.
We might be close.
No, we're not. The
We're
UK
not.
is the second on the list, and I'm
No,
not
that
surprised.
tracks.
That
Guy, London is bad vibes.
That tracks.
UK is bad vibes.
That tracks.
There's no other place.
Do you know that I have like a
I'm actually going to
I have a hot
UK
take
is
here.
bad vibes.
Yeah.
I have a hot take that
Make it hot and spicy.
that the way like just general society is miserable in
Yeah.
the UK is why podcasts and
Yeah,
like
I agree.
webcasts and
I agree.
chatcasts are
I agree.
So huge.
like
I agree.
wildly successful
I agree.
there. Because like I feel like the US does not have an equivalent of a shits and gigs. There's so many big podcasts,
Yeah.
but it will just not be that
Yeah.
huge because you don't even have to be like. In order for your podcast to blow in America, like you have to really be like
Be on your
in the
feet.
gym like that.
Yeah.
But like start a podcast today, that shit has blown if you get one viral.
Also,
clip.
just say some crazy shit
say
about
some
black
crazy
women.
shits, like literally.
Say some crazy about. Honestly, let's just do it. I think black women suck.
Yeah, I think they're ugly.
I think they're ugly. Like. But the thing, it's like I feel like that also makes sense because I feel like one, making friends in the UK is very very hard.
Hard, yeah.
Yeah.
So when I know like here everywhere has a loneliness of beginnings, it's very hard for people to make friends. But I think
Yeah.
obviously Americans
Totally.
are just like a lot nicer and
Yeah.
tend to be a lot more open. In the UK
With an asterisk.
because one, weather despicable.
Despicable.
Second,
Great.
people are not very nice and very receptive to like people wanting to be their friend, except unless you went to secondary school to them. I went
Facts.
to, like, you know what I mean?
Facts.
So like a podcast is like someone shooting the shit with you. That's like that's like the comments of people saying
And they love gist. I feel like
They
the thing is
love,
that they
like,
love.
tea. It's
Form, like, very
tea.
intense
Yeah.
social relationships. Yeah.
Because like I've noticed in a lot of my TikTok videos, sometimes when I'm talking, I'll see like someone comment my videos, "Oh my god, this feels like a FaceTime," and I'm like. I think I'm like, oh my god, I love that you like, you know, feel that connection to
that
me. At
way,
the same
but,
time,
like-
I'm just like, that's really sad that
Yeah.
like, I'm speaking to you,
But
speaking
I'm also
at
not.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm speaking because
yeah.
you really can't.
Like you can't.
This is not a
beyond
conversation.
This is not a
You know, you
conversation.
can't,
This
like,
is
yeah.
this is me just telling you something that's happening in my life,
Yeah.
and you're just watching it
Without
play
taking
out.
your input in real
Without-
time.
and I'm not asking for
Yeah.
your input, right?
Yeah.
So it's like. I feel bad sometimes because if I'm live, it's like, oh my God, it feels like FaceTime. It's like, yeah, I'm reading your comments, but like, I can really just choose not
I can
to.
choose
Yeah.
to ignore.
I can
yeah,
choose to ignore.
facts.
I can choose to not interact
Not
because
even
like
say anything,
I don't want
yeah.
to. But it's like I just feel bad because like people need friends,
Friends.
but also people need to be open to accepting, just like being kind,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
being nice. Because what?
I don't know. But that's the thing. Growing up in the internet like age and the Twitter age does not inherently make people want to be nice people.
Yes, I
That's
think that, you know, everyone I know I'm close to that's not on Twitter anymore. I think all my close friends who are still on Twitter, they don't interact with Twitter the way that I used to interact with Twitter.
Yeah, most of my best friends are like they have Twitter and they're
They
there,
don't
but
interact
they're
with
not
it the same way that I do. They just
Twitter
talk with their
people.
guys.
They're not
Yeah.
Twitter people.
Yeah.
Like we're retweeting every other thing. My
Yeah.
Twitter is dedicated to talking shit and Beyonce,
Yeah.
Really?
like, and very strictly that's like, and it's I feel like I had to get to a point because I stopped using it for a while because I
I
was
had
just
to
like,
do the app.
Yeah.
it's kind of it's a lot.
What
It's
I
a
had to learn
cesspool.
was
It's a
what I had to
cesspool.
learn was being comfortable with being on there. And this might sound contradictory because if you follow me on Twitter, like if there's anybody that's always on your timeline, it's probably me.
Probably.
Mind you.
There's like 5 of us here. No, there's like 5 of like my niggas that I'm like, once I come on Twitter like this, I know that you're here. Like,
Yeah.
and I only want to
Guys
fuck
like
with
that.
y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I also think that I got comfortable like a while ago consistently being on Twitter because I still kind of like enjoy it, or I feel
To
a
a
compulsion
level.
towards it.
Yeah.
It could be both,
Either.
and like not
this point,
necessarily
right.
talking all the time.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
every time I go on there, I don't really have to say something. Like I
Yeah.
can actually just
Liking,
see shit.
retweeting.
Yeah, I can actually just see shit and like mentally like engage with it and like,
Yeah.
actually just not say
Yeah.
anything. It took me a minute to get there
I love my
because
private
every
Twitter.
time.
My private Twitter is my home,
I need
and
to-
like
I find it so hard to keep up with my private Twitter.
I can't even be
I
private.
just had it for too long
because
that it's
I
like,
keep
hey.
opening it up. I go private and then I see a comment and they go, that person can't see your comment. I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Open it up.
I was
you
private.
hear me.
I was private for like I think a year.
I will.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I'm
about
private
a
for like an
year.
hour.
Yeah.
It was fine. I'm like cool, you know, like
think I'm
one
private.
day I was just kind of
No.
like let's
No, man.
open this up. Yeah.
let's
see. Nothing
I don't know.
passes.
I think I mean my
Nothing
private
changed.
Twitter as in like my other account.
No, that's why.
You know
That's
what
what
I
I
mean?
was saying.
Yeah.
I have
That's
a
like
hard
my
time
spam on
keeping up.
Instagram. I
Yeah,
can't
I have a
keep
hard
up
time
with
keeping
that.
up with that.
Okay, it's harder to keep up with it on Instagram for me.
Yeah, I can't
for
give up my
sure.
spam. I feel like I was like, oh my god, I'm post more spam Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
Then I'm like, but like, I don't. Why can't I just post this on my name?
Yeah.
Like, that's
No, my thing is that I wanted to refine the people who I was following.
Yeah.
Because like it's just like
I think
it was
that's
a lot.
why I don't
'Cause
be
on my,
on there.
on my
I follow a lot of people on
I follow
Instagram.
a lot of people
And
on
like,
Twitter.
I feel
and it's
bad.
like,
I'm following people sometimes because I'm just like, oh my god, I met you at the club in the bathroom that one time.
And I'm like, oh my god, like
We've never spoken since.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
I don't mind
what
having
if?
those people
But what
on
if I
Instagram.
need
Just
you?
like, all right,
But
whatever.
also, what if you need me?
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
keep those people on Instagram because I'll give you my Instagram before I ever give you my Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ever.
Oh my
I
god.
don't really give people my
I don't
Twitter.
give anyone
If
my
you
Twitter.
find it, you find it.
People in my
I'm not
master's
giving you
class found my Twitter, and I'm just like.
Oh, that's my next.
I'm just like, I mean, like you guys, I promise you I'm an intellectual. I'm not a degenerate. I promise you. I'm not
No.
just saying people to kill themselves on a
I'm
daily
also
basis.
on there complaining like
yeah.
all
Yeah, I'm
the
bitching
time.
and moaning. I'm
like,
bitching and moaning.
No, literally.
I don't wanna
Which
be
is
that
why
girl.
I need that.
I need, honestly, but sometimes
I have
I'm
to
also
maintain
like,
some mystery.
I don't care about the information. I feel like if I'm complaining, I complain my story. I don't, if you know,
Yeah.
if you know my story,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I
Every
used
2
to tell
minutes.
Tales by Moonlight
What?
on my close friends.
Close friends.
Oh my
I don't
God.
need that.
But I've left
I
it-
need the output of the
I'm actually
masses.
no. You know something that actually embarrasses me? Complaining online, like, and I don't know why it
I
started
don't give a
embarrassing
fuck.
me, but like it started
Depends what I'm
embarrassing me
saying.
one day. I was just like, wait.
It depends on what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
there's certain
I
things
know.
I wouldn't
on
complain.
Twitter,
Certain things
though.
I'll never see on my close friends. But
Yeah.
also, like one time I was like, this was like one time. It was last month. It's April. It was last month. I was in Portugal and I got stood up
Oh.
for the third time.
By
By the same person. God, I beg. There was something going on in my brain at that point.
Some
so
people
I
will
broke,
crumble.
I broke down.
Some people will crumble.
Wait, I broke down and I went crazy and I went on live and I was like going like crying.
Wait, have you already like met this person before and then?
Yeah, we met in 2022. And then they fucked me over.
that's
Then
not-
they mind you, I don't want to tell about this part because it's worse. I'll tell you guys after to get off here.
Yeah.
But I was like on live crying, being like also like I
On live on what?
on TikTok. Because here's what happened. I think what was happening to me was that, like I needed somebody to tell me that I wasn't mad.
Yeah, real.
Because like all my friends are
But people
obviously
gifting.
But like after you tell your friends like, oh my god, your friends always like obviously like, well you're not crazy because your friends will tell you you're not crazy. But like I needed strangers to yell me if I was going
But
mad
you know
or
I
not.
keep though.
You know what I mean?
But the thing is though, if you're on TikTok live, you're likely crazy. TikTok Live is another dimension. Oh my god, sorry, this is a tangent, but did you guys see the video of that one NPC Spider-Man, Miles Morales? When it was fucking,
bro.
That nigga was
You're doing too much, bro.
I thought you were doing acrobatics.
Bro.
that nigga was sweating. I'm like, don't you want to use it as an opportunity to take a break?
breathe.
Nigga,
Go off. Literally, you can leave. You can leave.
You could actually breathe.
No, my thing is that you can always turn it off. That's my own. Like, please.
But that
needs to get a new game.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, like
especially those guys.
I have never had.
Miss,
I've never had so many people in my
she's
life.
not
bad,
doing
and she's
mukbangs.
good.
I've never had that many people in my life.
How many people were there?
They were like 200 people, 300 people. Because like I've never had that, but it was because I was crying.
And the thing about TikTok Live as well.
It was
The thing about TikTok Live as well is anyone will join.
Yeah.
On Instagram
will be
Live,
on there.
people be
It's
like,
mostly
oh,
your guys,
like,
but
and
it-
even then, your guys are like,
Bruh.
why is this one?
But I usually go on live just like to like maybe get ready and like I'm making an outfit that kind
Yeah.
of thing. But this time I was bawling, crying, and then people call me and be
I would've
like,
paid to be there.
mind you, people come and be like, oh, why are you crying on live? I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm just crying on live, man. I've been clearly see I'm not okay. Clearly see I'm not okay.
Do you like
And then
this
I
one
left.
boundary? I'm like, I can never pick up that camera.
And then I left, I came back, and I was like, I had to stop crying. I started like,
Life just scares me in general.
and I was like, so guys,
Hi, guys.
I feel so much better. I think because like I hooked up with someone literally like right after. Like I was, I was like,
First of all, I want to say, like, from what I'm gathering here, you are actually like the main problem in this entire story. Because
like,
it's already starting from, in what world do you give somebody the opportunity to stand you up?
No, let me tell you.
Three
That's
times.
my issue. I have.
After the second one,
No, my main issue is I have a tendency. I have a tendency to like, when someone gives me a sob story.
Yeah, to just be
I'm so like, why would you lie about
Hold on. Let's
It's like, why
define
would you
stood
lie
up.
about
Let's
So let's define stood up. The first time I got stood up by this person, I had just come to Portugal, I think 2022. And we met on Bumble. We were talking, and I was like, "Oh, let's get lunch at this place."
Bumble?
No,
not at all.
I was like, "Let's get lunch at this place," and they're like, "Okay, cool." Never showed up. Cool, fine. Me being dumb, I was like, "Oh, let me
didn't say anything?
No, they didn't. Literally goes for a second, and then I'm like, "Okay, fuck you." And then because this is just my first solo trip to Portugal, so I was like, "Okay, I'm sad. I need weed. Who is the only person I know?" On the Portugal that had weed, and
it was that person?
So I hit him up, being like, "Okay, I'm not trying to like link you or anything."
How do you know you had weed if you hadn't even
Because we
seen
had
it?
like texted and talked about it. So I was like, "Oh, I'm not trying to link you or anything. Can I just buy fucking weed off of you?" Literally, this nigga tried to scam me, first of all.
Jesus
and I immediately go,
Christ.
"LOL, fuck you. I'm not doing that. I'm not paying that much." And he was like, "I'm just kidding." And then he was like, "Okay, cool." He brought me hash. I was like,
Convenient.
I was like, "Liar." He brought me hash.
Jesus.
Long story short, I hook up with this person, right?
Diane,
You
tap
are
on.
the problem.
I was in my eat, pray, love era, but it was actually cry, pray, love. This
is actually cry, pray,
Yeah.
What is this?
So I was like, we hooked up, and I was like, okay, cool, fine. The next day, he was like, oh, I'll try and see you before you leave. I was like, cool. I was like, I'm leaving. Radio silence, and I'm like, okay, we're done, fine. I unfollowed them on everything, cool. They messaged me like a week or two later, being like, hey, like I was really drugged out, and he was like, oh, like I have like an addiction, and I'm like been dealing with like my addiction, like sometimes I just like, I'm like an asshole when I'm super high, and I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, at first I'm like, okay, cool, like good for you, like whatever. I end it. They come back to me later again, being like, hey, I've like been to rehab, I've been like doing this and doing that, and all these things. And I go, okay, cool, like fine, mind you, I'm like, good for you. We follow each other back. That's literally the extent of our interaction.
Yeah.
Very much like an Instagram type. They'll like that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like hitting them up again. I didn't hit them. I was like, I think I put it in my story or something. Be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Portugal again. Da da da. And I was like, okay. They're like, oh, like this time I'm gonna like have a do over. I go, huh. I don't know about that. And then they like, you know, like I'll come pick you up from the airport. Like we'll do this. Like I work at this club
My
now.
thing is, you don't have to promise things.
I literally said,
like you don't.
I literally go, you don't have to do that. It'll be nice if you just see each other, but like,
yeah,
it doesn't have to be all that.
We're good.
And then he's like, oh, no, sorry. And they were like, they were just like, yeah, like I'll pick you from the airport. Well, this club I'm working at, they would love to meet you. Like they already showed me your Instagram. They think you're so cool. And I was like, oh, I'm like, thank you. Like that's crazy. And then we're like talking about it through a week, 2-3 weeks before I'm coming. And I'm like, yeah, like let's do this. And then they're like, well, like they're saying all these things.
Planning
and
stuff.
I'm like, again,
this is an itinerary.
I'm like, again, you don't have to do all that. They also had mentioned to me that they were having like financial issues at the time, and I was like, yeah, wait, and I was like, it's
So,
fine.
There's so many red flags.
And I go, I'm only there for 4 days. It's not that big of a deal. Like we don't have to do anything like super expensive.
Yeah.
In the spend much money.
Yeah.
They're like, cool. And I even said, oh yeah, like I'm there for 4 days. I can cover you if anything. And then they were like, no, cool. The day I land, I think the day before I leave from London, because I was like, I'm going for London. I go, are you excited to see me? Like I'm on my way. They're like kind of like cold with their response, and I'm like, again, you don't have to pick me up from the airport if you do not want to.
Like
and
you were gonna be here regardless.
I was going to Portugal not to meet you. I was going regardless. So they were just like, no, but I will. Cool. Next day when I get to Portugal, I text, because luckily for me, when I was in London, I had met up with one of my friends who was DJing a set, and I met their friend who was happening to go to Portugal on the exact same day that I was on my flight. So luckily I was with her when I got to the airport. But at the airport, I'm telling her, I'm like, okay, I literally was at the airport being like, watch them not show up. Watch them not show up. And they were like, LOL, no, they like after all that, because I showed it to her, like they would definitely show up. I was like, cool. I text them, I'm here.
At the airport.
I text them being like, I'm here. Like, are you coming?
Like that's so crazy.
Like,
so
just
crazy.
that, all that.
That is so dangerous.
They have their red receipts. They have the red receipts on. Like they're reading what I'm saying. I just like right, and I'm like, huh, okay, cool. I take a taxi to my hotel. It was like €6, whatever. I don't have any issue because it's cheap as fuck. Yeah. I was texting them being like, what was all this for? Like, why did you do all this? Like, what was the need? And then they're like not responding to me, right? Until like I get to my hotel. Like, okay, I'm trying to have fun. I eat dinner. I eat lunch with my friend. She goes to her hotel because she's meeting up with some other friends, and she's like, oh, you want to come to dinner with us after? I'm like, okay, perfect. I'll come to dinner. They text me like at dinner after mind you, I landed at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
They text me at dinner. It's like 6, 7, or 8. No, 8. They text me at 6. And then I'm being like, oh, you know, remember I told you that I was having financial issues. I think because after I messaged them being like, I think I said, oh, you're being really fucking mean for no reason. Yeah. And then they're like, after I told you I was having financial issues, if me being mean is me wanting to put food in my belly, that I'm mean. And I was like, first of all, what? And I was like, that's not what I saw. I was like, that the issue was that.
Can I say go to hell?
No, hellfire. Literally. And I was like, you stood me up, bro. That was the issue.
At the airport.
The issue wasn't the fact that like I'm like, oh, you can't afford to take me here. I'm like, no, it was the fact that like,
and you offered.
I never said you could be on the airport.
Please.
I never said that. And
in fact, you said you don't have to worry about that.
And then after that, they're like, and then they're going like, oh, I think I unfollowed them on Instagram, and I was like, you know what, it's done. Like, I'm fine. And they're like, keep me unfollowed, like, da-da-da. They're just like saying shit to me. And I'm like, being like, you're being mean, like being like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you acting this way? Like, da-da-da. And they literally messaged me, cool story. I too would have gone on TikTok. I think in that moment, my brain had like a fuse. That was exactly.
Hey,
girl, like my brain short circuited, and I was at dinner bawling. Mind you, this is with strangers. I didn't know you for more than a day. I was crying, being like, yeah, I can't eat. I was crying in my car. Literally, my Uber driver on my way back is like handing me tissues because I'm crying profusely, like crying so hard, being like after that, then they blocked me on Instagram and everything. Christ. So I can't comment on that. And one thing about me is that when you block off my communication, I think there's something wrong that happens to me when I hate when people don't let me say what I need to say. And I'm like crying, calling them on my phone, the landline on my airport, using the phone that I was calling on every number I know. calling, being like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was going crazy.
Yeah.
What?
Damn.
No. The cool story. The cool story of it all. The cool story of it all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like,
I think I was like, I will never in my life. I think it was because I've experienced like being friends with people who had dealt with addiction, and I know what it was like for people like at that point where like they were kind of a dick, right?
Yeah.
But like I was able to like be with them till
they got better.
And they got better, and they actually worked together.
Yeah,
and
but
better.
also this is not someone who's necessarily like.
Yeah, that
When
close
it's
to
your
me.
friend, it's
Right,
like,
it's
okay, I
different.
have like a certain level of like
established love.
for you.
And I think that's my issue. I think that's also my issue. It's like I always am like benefit of the doubt because I'm always like, what if that was me?
I am anti-benefits of the doubt.
I'm always benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, I think it's a very once assigned thing. To be honest, it's
so
actually
benefit of the doubt.
it's so
because I'm like,
How many times have you given someone the benefits of the doubt and you were proved wrong?
You know something?
Many times. My
Many
thing,
times.
like not even proved wrong, but it's like
Proved wrong.
I think for me it's because I feel like oftentimes when you exist as like a fat black person, there's never that benefit of the doubt given to you in low spaces. So I think that's what I always assume for others, and always try to extend to you because it's like I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what
your life is.
Because he had told me about like shit going on with his family and like having to be kicked out and like just stuff like that. I'm like, okay, obviously like you're having a really really hard time. So like I'm like.
Empathizing.
I'm empathizing with them.
And
so
that's
it's
so
like,
fair, bro.
Yeah. So it's like,
but I don't really want to be. I don't have to be part of that.
Yeah.
I like, and I was like, when that happened, I was like, I literally went crazy. I don't. My job was so crazy. I'm okay. So like, I was on Bumble before I got there, obviously, and like, I had matched with someone while I was there. So I was like, I think I was texting them. This mind you, this person was like 43. Wait, I hope he doesn't see it. No, not this person that stood me up. The person I'm talking about that I hooked up with after. On that same date that I went crazy. So I think I was
43.
I think they were cool. I will say he's a cool dude. Like I will say, cool dude. It was a good experience.
Yeah.
I feel like I texted them. We were talking about just like life, and I was like, he was like, oh, do you want to get a drink? And I was like, honestly, I'm like really sad right now, so I'm gonna be the worst person to talk to. And they were like, do you want to talk about it? And I was like. Yeah, like let's talk about it. And there was a bar in my hotel, so they came and we talked about it, and we hooked up. And I was like, "Hey, they're a cool dude. Like, I still talk to him. He's a cool dude."
Yeah. Also,
older.
you're on holiday.
I'm on holiday. Yeah. So why the fuck not? Like, why not be fun, flirty, and 25?
Right. That's what you're supposed to be.
That's
doing.
what you're actually supposed to be doing. Not that.
Honestly, this trip was kind of crazy. It was actually really bad. The Portugal trip. I don't know. I keep going back to Portugal, even though I've had like such horrible experiences. Yeah. Like, if I tell you, I've had horrible experiences, but I've also had such beautiful experiences while I've been there. Because at the same time, I was welcomed openly with like 3 queer women when I went out one night because I went to the bar and like they were like, oh. They pay a cover. I didn't have any cash, and they said they only do this like Portuguese. So I was like, I don't have that one. So I walk over to another thing next door, and I see these 3 black queer femmes, and I'm like, oh my god! I think I compliment one of them. And I was like, and somehow we all ended up like spending the whole night together. We all go drinking. And it was so nice because like it was. Like that was love. They went to the beach the next day together. So it was like that came out of that. So like I love that. And the same way, like I had a bad experience my trip before with that person setting me up, but I also made some dope friends that I explored the city with. So it's like there are so many bad things that happen, but at the same time, it's like so many beautiful memories have been created in that space that I'm not gonna like let that shadow how I feel about the city. Just because like I feel like so much love has been created for me from that city. Because even that day when I went. Even mind you, even this same trip, I went to a bar with my friends. Tell me why they were white supremacist skinheads in the bar. I remember thinking, this is the same Portugal trip, mind you. This trip that was in March. White supremacists
everywhere.
4 days.
4 days.
Trip.
4 days. 4 days. I got stood up. I hooked up with a 43-year-old.
Like this is so many lives to live in 4 days.
I chilled with 3
These
queer.
are 20s.
Mind you. And then
I feel like I
literal skinheads. So basically, the people I was with at the bar was this girl that I met with my friend in London, and these 3 guys, right? They were talking to these 2 like small Portuguese boys, and they were talking to them about like what they like just like everything.
Yeah.
Long story short, these boys end up saying that they're like ethno-nationalists to them. But I clocked it because I came in later, because they didn't want to let me in at the door. Not to knock, they didn't want to let me in at the door.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kind of see why, because there were a lot of them in the bar. But when I saw this boy, I saw the cross on their shirt, and it was a red cross, the iron cross, right? And I was like, oh. And I literally whispered to her, I was like, do you know your friends are talking to skinheads? Why don't you put just because your hair was shaved? And they were like, what? And they looked at their shirt. I was like, it's not just a regular cross that those people have there. It's an iron cross. And they're like, yeah, they're an ethno-nationalist. And one of the boys there is like Jewish, who was talking to the person, and they literally point at him, being like, "You're not, like white like us, right?" And then his friend like jokes and being like, yeah, he's Jewish. And then they were like, oh, like full on like fucking anti-Semitic Nazis, to the point that like, all right. And then at first I was like, oh my God, we could beat their asses. And then they were like, and I realized they were with other people who were muscular ass skinheads.
Yeah.
Who had
So
like,
it's like,
who had like swastikas on their arms. They were like, the kids were like, they were 18-year-olds. These boys were like, oh, Africa is for Africans and Asia is for the Asians. Why do they keep coming to Europe? And I'm like, I don't listen. They're not engaging with me. They're engaging with the two white boys and the one Jewish one. They're like, and when they clocked out that boy was Jewish, it changed. Their countenance changed completely towards him, and I was like, we're not safe here because
we need
I'm
to
black,
go.
Yeah.
he's Jewish, you're fucking multiracial ass Arab something. So like,
you some type of black,
like
Spanish.
You're not white. You know what I mean? You're not white. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like
They're not gonna be down.
They're not gonna be down for you. They're and literally were like, let's stop being details. There was another guy there who talked to another American kid who's wearing a cross, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, why are you gay and wearing a cross? And I don't say I overhear him say this, and because I'm also wearing this cross.
Yeah.
And I go, well, I'm gay and I wear a cross. And they're like, where in the Bible does it say that you can be gay and be Christian? I go, what does the Bible does it say you can't?
Literally.
Like, where does it say you can't?
Part.
And they're like, I'm like, quote the scripture. Quote it. Show me the scripture. And
has anybody ever noticed that, like, when you ask people to specifically quote it,
it's always
it's
never-
they're like, well,
interpretation.
if you like interpret it this way,
in this way and that way, and they're wringing the neck of the scripture to fit so well. It's like,
I
girl,
feel like Christians always the first to be like, oh, don't bend the scripture. Wow.
Bending like
bending and breaking,
cracking. God, it's really fucking mad. It's really fucking mad.
No,
I
it's
really
crazy.
think that
molding it around their narratives. It's really fucking
it's
wild.
Crazy.
it's too convenient.
No, we left. We're like, yeah, it's time to go home. I think because we're all leaving the next day. I was like, okay, this is
let's call it. This is the end of the experience.
Like, it's okay.
We've
no
tried.
more.
We go home.
We've actually tried.
I said I've tried. I went home. I carried myself to London the next morning. I said, I beg, don't hit
This
me
is
up
a lot of
again.
life.
Mind
But you go,
in
you
4
owe me.
days.
You owe me. You owe me so much.
You owe me money first. Like, you owe me money.
That was your
In 4 days. In 4 days. I went crazy on live. I hooked up with a 43-year-old. I hung out with some amazing queer black femmes.
Queer black people,
just queer black
you
people in
always
general.
be
Like,
angels.
I spent an amazing day with 3 queer black people. I saw some white supremacist skinheads, and then I went home.
Solid.
I think I cried the next day.
Solid. Actually. No, how was you crying?
Why did you cry? You even said the next day when you get home.
I got to the hotel, I went to sleep, and I just started crying the next day. I was like,
This is
what happened.
Even if it was a month, that's too much experience for me. It's too much experience for me.
That's actually how my
I'm
life.
good.
That's how my life usually goes. There's always a hijinks.
Oh my god, so your life is like super story.
Guy.
Yeah.
Once I leave the country, there's always
You know
beef.
something? Like,
And I'm always
half
trying to
of my
run.
friends, all of their lives, super story,
Mind you.
super story. I said, wow, like, I actually want to see this produced.
I stopped
produced.
I stopped dating
I don't
because my
mind.
shit was a telenovela.
Gosh.
Because where I used to cry, it's as if you think that they beat me. Because I get so like I feel things very intensely. I feel like that's just I'm a water sign, but
I
I'm
was
also
just literally on my side A was literally crushes.
Yeah.
And like me having a crush and being like,
I don't have crushes
But-
anymore. Because if I have crushes, I used to go mad.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm like a triple water sign in my big 3. Yeah.
Whoa,
So I'm
whoa.
a Scorpio
Let me hear
moon,
it.
Scorpio sun, and a Cancer rising.
Oh, we.
So, like,
rising.
So there's a lot of emotion there. I'm also a Sag Venus.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of emotion there.
Yeah.
I'm like
That's heavy heavy emotion.
That's
That's not
heavy.
even like
I
just
feel
emotion.
things like violently
Like,
intensely. So it's
yeah.
like when I tell my friends, I'm like, I feel like they've killed me, and they're like, oh my god, Diane, like you know,
Don't be so
I'm
dramatic.
like, bro, I'm not
You don't even
exaggerating.
understand. Like,
Yeah.
I want to hear myself.
I want to pull my mouth.
I'm going to pull it out of my
throat. I want to squeeze my throat, bro. You understand? Like it was like, oh my god, Diane, like you know, like literally, like you're in them for like a month, and I'm like, it's you don't get it.
Get it? You
Because
don't
in
get
my
it.
mind, we had already planned our lives,
Yeah.
and we were together. I'm
Lola
like,
swears I'm like so strict, but like if I like somebody, yeah.
No. I do know how you are when you like people. No, that I do know. But you are strict before you get to that
Before I
point.
get to that
you know what
point.
I mean? Like Oinda is actually a very rigid mama. Like, and she doesn't. And I think in her heart of hearts, like she's a softie.
I'm a softie.
She's a softie,
I really
but
am.
she is really rigid. Like she's an Aries, so
It's
like
necessary.
she really.
it was necessary.
You know,
It's necessary,
that war
guys.
is really
Especially
a
dating in
war.
this city.
Yeah.
It's actually necessary because
Especially dating in
men,
this city.
I really
New York,
cannot
New York,
deal.
New York.
I cannot deal. It reach. I've seen when in the last few years,
Man.
well, it actually honestly has not been that bad. Like in the grand scheme of things, I'm like, you know what? It's really not
Yeah.
that
I
bad.
can't even say. I granted, all.
But even the things that I've just felt, I'm like, damn, like.
All I will say is, I think I remember watching this video where someone was like, "Oh, everything my ex did and I still stayed."
Yeah.
Those videos, and like I remember one of my friends made me respond. I think it was they were like, after I watched those videos, I actually tried to tell myself, I haven't gone through anything.
No, sometimes.
I'm like, wait, so
My job fine.
Like,
My job
bruh.
so well.
No, sometimes when I watch people's story
Hey.
times, I'm like, okay, I'm
I'm
it's fine.
good. Like,
It's
oh
fine.
my God.
I've actually never done anything in my life.
My romantic
shit in my life.
I've never
my
done
romantic
anything.
relationships have actually been peachy
Been
keen.
Mind you.
peachy, yeah. So
I think
it's
I
fine.
think I saw when the guy was like, I think it was like, oh, he slept with my best friend. My best friend was next to her. He was like, I slept with my best friend, and I still stayed. And then I think they both dated the same guy. So the things they were saying were like
Yeah.
overlapping.
Yeah.
Like the guy like said he was like he was the victim after he had cheated. And then they still stayed.
Oh, people are so
Do you
brave
know
on the internet.
nobody hates cheating more than cheaters?
Eh?
They
hate it.
They
It
hate
burns
it
their
so
soul.
viscerally.
Oh God.
Like it actually like
No, oh my God. I don't know if you've ever
Bruh.
been with somebody and you cheated back. Like, and
Guys, like you cheated back.
bro, they will call you
I can't
all
believe you did
sorts
this.
of
I
things.
can't believe
I
you did
can't
this.
believe you would do this to me.
Because
I
when I did it wasn't out of spite, but when you did it was out of
Oh,
spite.
wow.
And that's what makes us different.
And that's what makes this diabolical.
That's what makes it so detrimental to our relationship. Because at the end of the day, I just was tempted.
you know I've actually never cheated back
not
because this
cheated,
is the thing,
full
right? It's not because I'm not the type. Right?
Yeah.
But I think that I'm so oblivious that if anyone
Yeah.
has ever cheated on me, I don't know.
Oh my God, you know something? Every time
don't
someone
know.
has cheated on me, I
If
actually
you
found
cheated
out
on me,
way
come
after the
forward.
fact.
I
Oh
have
my
been
God,
single
no, you guys, I felt like I
all
saw this
25 years of
bro,
my life.
I tell the story a lot, and I think this was very early in my lifetime for this to even be happening.
Hello,
But
hello.
somebody cheated on me with like 20 different babes.
Hello? For how long ago is it? 20 years.
No. We were together for, I want to say 8 months, maybe 9.
That, my friends, is the devil's
That is-
spawn.
Let me
An
tell you,
addiction.
people.
That is an addiction.
And I
that
hope
is the
this
devil's
person has
spawn.
gotten help.
No,
That is
I'm
devil's
sure.
spawn.
No, and I'm sure he has. And I hope some people were even lying to me. I really hope. Like, I really do hope. Like, for his own good, I really do hope. Like, bro, I really do hope some people were lying to me because for his sake, that's actually so
Are you
diabolical.
insane?
What are you doing?
But at least
Also, is this not secondary school? Nothing else to do
mind
with
you,
time.
mind you, nothing else to do with your time. It's all and different
Just
babes
gives,
from different
gives,
schools.
gives,
Girls in Lagoon, girls in LBIS.
Where-
I said,
I have a question. Whose driver was driving into all these functions?
guy.
That's the part.
No. I'll tell you guys this time because I
Let's not get into the nitty-gritty.
Let's not get into
Let's not
this.
get into nitty-gritty.
Because,
yeah, I feel like, dating is.
it's
I've
really
been single
interesting.
my whole life. Me, I've
No,
been-
I feel like I learned. I saw went really early. So like I'm 22, just a mere 22, but
See,
I've
baby,
seen.
see, baby.
I'm actually
that.
just about to
I've
start
seen.
dating for real.
I've seen.
Now.
No, I think I don't. I think it's okay. I've been single
I don't
my
think
whole
I know
life.
this.
Let me just
Yeah,
see.
no. I think
One
you.
thing about me, I learned my lesson
can-
very quickly,
Yeah.
so I will pull myself back.
Yeah.
But let me just
I'm not really. You know something I realized about myself. I'm not really dating.
I don't find dating fun.
I don't find it fun. I kind of like the process of having a crush and like falling in love.
Yeah.
I love that. That's what I like.
Me too.
I don't really.
But
like
dating where you're like trying to
let's
see
go to
different
this, let's
and
go.
trying to coordinate things. I'm like I really don't have the brain space for this.
I don't know. I don't
I'm
know.
gonna start out married.
So all the people
Bro,
that are trying
like,
I didn't work our way out.
no, literally. That's literally the book I'm reading right now.
Side A book club. Everyone will read Marx for Cats.
Marx
Okay.
for Cats.
Marx for
Is it
Cats.
nonfiction?
It's very much not.
No, okay, good.
We don't recommend
Oh, it's
nonfiction.
nonfiction.
No,
Sorry,
no,
it is
I-
nonfiction.
wait.
Sorry, it's nonfiction. It's nonfiction. It's
Okay,
nonfiction.
okay, I don't mind
Marx,
nonfiction, as we do know.
likes
Marx for
nonfiction.
Cats is a book in which I think she maps out. She maps out like I can't really say. It's like I think it's political like movements as well as just like ideologies and like things through the lens of cats and like with cat and like also trying to explain Marx.
This really sounds like some shit you would read.
I haven't read. I'm literally like a couple pages in. I'm so intrigued.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm
It
like
sounds
read
intriguing.
Marx for Cats.
I'm gonna look for it and I'm gonna put it on anything we recommend.
Sven,
I'll put it on
yeah.
reading.
Marx for Cats.
I'm currently reading Honey Girl. I don't know if I can recommend it. I'm on such a poor streak.
Every single chapter of this book, Winda is just like, ugh.
I'm on such a poor streak when it comes to my like
She just
my
doesn't
TBRs
like
right
the
now.
main characters of the book.
It's not, and it's so crazy because I really thought that I would love it because so many people are like, ugh. I know I love a heartfelt moments, but like, I don't want to read
the main
about
character is
a
whiny and she
28-year-old.
hates that.
I get it because at the end of the day, it revolves around like post-grad angst and things like that, and those are like very real concepts that I can relate to, and you know, just overbearing parents and like just the weight of expectation, all of those types of things I get, and like. Also, it's marketed as a romance. I think it was originally marketed as a romance when it came out in 2021. I want to say,
but it's not a romance.
the romance is
It's a side plot.
The romance is a side plot, which is okay because it's a coming of age story at the end of the day, right? And so that's fine. But the romance is not good, in my opinion.
Hey,
so I'm kind of like,
I've never
okay.
seen it. I ain't never seen
It's
it.
not-
I've read
it's
it.
called Honey Girl.
It's quite popular, like amongst like just the niche of book talk that I'm on. But
cannot stand
girls,
book
you
talk.
guys like.
Although they annoy me. Oh my god! Like
I like the people I like.
I cannot
I don't
stand
go
book talk.
outside.
I don't
of
think
that.
I really even
A
have
lot
like
of
anyone on book talk
a lot
like that.
of
Like I
you
like.
have addictions to pornography.
Oh yeah.
But I say
small
like
thing. Is it spicy?
pornography.
Small
Pornography.
thing. But is it spicy? Oh, is it spicy?
But like
Is it spicy?
maybe some days
Smart,
drink
smart,
Maybe
milk.
some days no spice.
Drink milk.
And at the end of the day, like I do like a spicy book,
Yeah.
just as much
But,
as the
like,
next
please.
girl.
Yeah.
But you guys
It can't be
cannot-
every book
You
now.
guys cannot process
Also,
a
Colin
book
Hoover is not that good.
Not that
Oh.
good. That's a shit writer right
Yeah,
there.
she's a shit writer.
No offense. to you. I
Shit,
can't.
shit.
I tried, and I read it in like an ebook format. Maybe that's why I was not
That
really
is some of
connecting with
the,
it.
like,
No, it's a bad book. She's a bad writer. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry.
A lot of her books are very like. I haven't read any. That's my thing. It's like I'm.
I tried.
Obviously,
And that was me trying.
yeah,
I was like,
Carmen
oh, yeah,
was
yeah,
just
no.
talking
but a
about
lot
this
of
as
the
well.
plots just sound very like elementary.
Yeah.
It's like
oh, I saw this like formula somewhere, and then I'm gonna like try and like revamp
Recreate
it into my
every
own
true
story.
business
Like,
minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't like that.
I don't want to read that. Like I don't want to read that. Also, people need to start reading books that know the what do you might call it? Nonfiction. Yeah, nonfiction.
Oh, so we don't disagree.
So
with you.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Like,
But I
I
don't.
no,
mind.
I
Oh no, you mind because every time I
For
suggest one for you.
For me.
The only reason I bring it up is because like aside from the fact that like people just don't read at all anymore, I'm just like people are dumb.
Yeah,
sure.
they're not aware.
They're not aware of anything.
But I also think that I do like to combat the notion that I think I was talking to somebody the other day and they read All This Could Be Different and they thought it was nonfiction. I like books where I feel like, because I just read Homegoing as well. I learned so much from that.
Yeah, you can definitely learn a lot from fiction.
Fiction,
What are you talking about? You can.
I think
not
there's a
Colin
balance.
Hoover though.
No.
but you can learn a lot from fiction. It's just like I feel like people need to have a healthy mix.
Yeah.
and also it doesn't always have to be like a YA novel. It doesn't always have to be like.
I can't stand a YA
Yeah, it doesn't
novel.
have to be. It doesn't have to be like about like it could be about romance.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, hey.
Yeah,
Pretty historical period piece, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I like a buffer. I like a
Read about the
buffer
fucking
in
Biafra
between
War.
my
And this is that I love
romances.
a romance more than the next person, but like
But
I
you
need
need
that.
you
I
need-
love mystery thrillers more than
I love
anything.
it. My
I love a
favorite,
good
like
mystery.
my secondary, like favorite
Yeah.
is like a good contemporary fiction. Like
Yeah.
I love a contemporary fiction. That's my favorite.
Like you guys know, like I don't know if I've talked about the list on this podcast yet, or not this
I don't think you
podcast.
have.
Yeah, but the
you have
list.
another podcast.
Oh yeah. Don't even talk to other people, please. I beg. But if you
I'm
reel
fine
it back
in.
in, Yomi Adedoke. At the end of the day, is what I'm trying to say. She is
I'm gonna
so.
read that next.
She's
Because
literally
I'm tired
so
of this
clear.
streak
She's
that I'm
so
on.
clear. She's so clear. This
I
is
will look into
literally,
it.
literally
Have you
real
read
life
Yellowface?
stuff.
No.
You should read
You should-
Yellowface.
I think I've fallen down the issue of just like because of grad school. I'm
Yeah.
constantly reading like academic
academic
books,
books, yeah.
and like I'm writing my summer reading list. Why the fuck is my summer reading list shit like The Black Atlantic, Skate Experiments? But granted, Skate Experiments is by my professor, which I'm
Yeah.
reading the introduction of but now. But it's not. I'm not gonna say it's depressing, but it's like
Yeah.
it's a sad topic that it's being
Yeah.
covered. in
Yeah.
books.
No,
and
your
that's what all
degree is
academic
heavy.
books are.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's all academic books are like that. So I feel like I'm like, oh my god, summer reading. Let me read this book that talks about like how I don't know race science and stuff. But it's just like shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I think Yellowface would be a good slip in because
yeah.
it's not too like off. It's not too off center. Essentially, the premise is basically like there's these two writers, right? And one of them is essentially she's like a sweetheart in the industry. She's like
Yeah.
the new thing. Everybody wants to get their hands on like what she's doing. The other one is like this mediocre white bitch, and she's just kind of like, oh, but like what's so good about her? Anyway. The
She
bitch
steals
ends
her
up-
story.
The bitch ends up
she tells the story.
She steals the other girl's story.
the girl dies
Yeah.
in her presence. Like they hang out one night. They're like frenemies. The girl dies. She chokes on pancakes or something. Sorry, spoilers. So she dies, but she's at her the girl is at her apartment, and so while she's waiting for the cops to come, she sees like her finished manuscript and she steals it, and basically like
Revamps it into
uses
her
it
own
up and
stuff.
publishes it as her own. And in the process of doing that, also like revamps herself into not necessarily an Asian woman, but somebody that if you didn't look too closely, you may or may not assume was an
Was
Asian
Asian
American.
American.
Miranda
yeah.
Cosgrove.
Very much that. It's like
The whole cast
It's
of
like
icons.
it's almost like it's
Everyone gives
intentional.
way
No,
It's
literally.
intentional,
Everyone
but
gives
you
way
also,
shit.
it's also a thing where
All
it's like,
white.
Freddie,
All white. Everyone gives way shit.
it's like okay, yeah, like my name is June, and like okay, we might think that June is like maybe everyone thinks that June might be like some sort of like Asian person's name, and
Yeah.
then like oh, I have this like middle name that I could use that maybe other people could think that maybe it's wild, and
Because
it's
a lot
like
of like
one of
it's
the
insane.
Lynn.
yeah,
'Cause a lot of, like,
exactly.
yeah.
In racial
exactly.
politics,
Yeah.
at least from what I've read about it, is very
It's just
insane.
really
I'm gonna
wild.
look into it because
It's
I
very
think
insane.
I need a lot more like
We have it right
that
here if
doesn't
you want
sound
to
like
borrow it.
light reading per
Reading,
se.
yeah, but like
It's
lighter.
lighter.
It's lighter.
Yeah, lighter
It's lighter.
reading. Yeah,
Like,
I know what you mean.
I'm reading about like
yeah.
fucking radiation and
Yeah,
shit. And how like
it's lighter in
radiation.
the sense that it's still like a
Yeah.
mystery.
Because
Yeah.
even the list is not light by any means because it's about sexual assault. Like
Lord.
bro, and it goes through like literally like a list of sexual assaulters like gets released, and like this girl's husband, who they're supposed to get married in like a
on the
month's
list.
time, is on the list.
My dear.
But
Time to
bruh,
end it.
guy, and it goes back and forth between his perspective and her perspective, and like even the thing that the thing is that anything I say is a spoiler in the book because it is a mystery. So a
you
lot
still
of things
ended up
like
doing Side A Book Club.
yeah, no, hey, hi Keith,
Hey.
I love it, but it is so like. I think it's just well done and really well crafted, and like you almost catch yourself even wanting to sympathize for the man for at some point, and I feel like
his shocking turn of events.
bruh. And then I feel like the way that she even got to write that is very interesting because she doesn't do it in a way that's like, oh, I want you to sympathize for this character, but you just
You
start
will.
to, you just will, you know.
Speaking of sympathizing the guy, have you guys seen Baby Reindeer?
I want to watch it. I've seen so much
literally
about
going
it.
to start.
Literally
I
this
just read
whole
about
week.
it yesterday.
I finished it. It's quite good. It's very.
Yeah.
I think it's actually very, very well written.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's. I think it it does. I'm not saying it does something similar.
They were talking
but
about it on Tutu's
It's like a
podcast.
hostage situation, right?
it's not a hostage situation.
Okay.
It's kind of like this guy who is working at a bar. He's ended up being stalked by this lady, and he kind of like goes through his like the motions of how like he gets to the point where he starts to feel pity for the person, as well as like how
The
he
person
got
stalking
to,
him.
yeah, how he got to the point where he like didn't like accept love into his life, what caused all that. Like it's very well written, because at some points you're like, because for me I think as a fat person, because the person that's stalking him is fat, at first I was like, oh, I didn't say I related. In the first episode I was like, oh, like I see a lot of parallels with my life, because there was a scene where like he's been like jokey flirting with her throughout the whole entire, like in the beginning, and because like she's taking it, like he's laughing, and then the guy he works there with her, like, oh, he's like saying that she's your girlfriend, da, da, da. And I remember having an experience of that where someone did that to me, where they're like, oh my god, like, oh, you're this person's, this is your boyfriend, like you should ask her out, and then they start like egging them on to ask them out, and it's like it's clearly a joke, but it's like in her position being like that person, it's not clocked as a joke for her. So I was like, oh, that's sad. But obviously as you go further, you kind of see her be this evil being, and like obviously that relatability kind of goes away, but at the same time I also like was thinking about how like the politics of growing up, I don't know how she grew up, so I can't even tell you because I don't know what she looks like. But it's just like seeing that on screen, I'm just like, it's very interesting the way he put it, because it's very well done, because you feel bad for her in the beginning. You do. You feel bad for her in the beginning because you're like, she's a loser. She's a loser. She just wants attention. She just wants but she becomes very violent. Like she becomes very violent. There's a line.
I mean, I feel that like loneliness. I feel like loneliness makes people violent.
That is literally yellow face. Where now you're considering doing things that. It's like at this point, it's like, okay, this is all.
This is a little bit much.
Okay, it's like, okay, this is devious, but like now we're getting to the territory of like.
But she was a seasoned
violence.
stalker. She was like a seasoned stalker. Like that was her thing. Like she was convicted of stalking. So it's like it was fascinating to watch that play out on screen, just because. Even from his perspective, he doesn't consider himself a victim. He says he doesn't consider himself a victim, but like I think he does an amazing job of showing what it means to be a victim, because everyone wants a victim that did everything right, said everything right, acted the right way, did not react, and that's not how trauma ever manifests, right? So it's like he does a very good job of like framing himself, even just like as the person going through life and experiencing trauma. But he was like, I'm not a victim, but it's like it's kind of bad.
It came on my radar because Cardi B was talking about it.
Yeah, it was.
And then they took her. Out,
as they always do.
What did she say?
I don't remember what she was saying.
I don't remember what she said.
I scrolled it.
But like, cause I just feel like the way people place headlines is so annoying, and they don't have to do that. Like, actually being in my degree literally lets me know that people don't have to create outrageous headlines for any reason. But it works.
It works. This is random, but you guys see that headline where someone said that it was a headline where someone said pro-Palestinian protester stabs.
And it was literally just a little flag
that flicked his face like he was walking by. It was like stabbed him in the eye.
Not even like a flag, like a plastic flag.
And it was like they're like, oh, it stabbed them in the face, but it quite literally was just a flag that grazed his face, and he's like, you stabbed me. If you watch the video, you're like, it literally goes like that.
It's just, man.
Like the flag, and the headline was like, pro-Palestinian protester stabs Israeli in the face.
The messaging is so.
If you didn't watch the video, you would think that person was being so violent. I actually stabbed him in the fucking eye. No, it was a
like
flag.
It's gotten out of hand. Like this is propaganda at like
at its finest. For
finest. Like
and because people are not literate in media sense, in the actual sense,
in any sense,
and I have no ability to research, they take a lot of headlines at face value,
that shit thrives so hard,
and they never research anything because it's like, why? Because literally a coach can be like, oh, are these your pro-Palestinian thing? I'm like, and someone goes, look at the video you're talking about.
Like, you literally the video,
and they see the video and it's like, well.
But you
didn't even try.
You didn't try. You didn't look into it. You didn't
try to look into it.
You saw it. White letters, black background. You said like, yes.
Also the ones that are just like
and then
random.
You
shared it. Those ones are like random for like academics. Then people, you're like, that's like
the tweet.
Someone died. You're like, run it. I'm like, what if I told you? In a lot of countries, especially in the UK, for example, you would get fucking sued for that.
That's
illegal.
Like
That is very illegal. That's why so many news articles in the UK they have to rescind a lot of things they say because can't you remember the one about Kate when they
all
had to pull
all
out
the
'cause,
time.
like, that's illegal.
That's crazy.
That's illegal.
I feel like the fact that it can even happen to the royal family and happens to the royal family
all the time
should show that the bounds are not there's no bounds.
But
at
also,
all.
I really don't have any empathy for them.
Yeah,
I don't.
man,
Yeah, I don't really don't care about
I'm
those
gonna
people.
fuck,
Honestly,
man. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's God that's doing it.
Yeah, doing his thing,
literally.
whatever. Like let them.
Let it shake.
Yeah, let it shake.
Y'all know
give
how I
fuck.
feel about karma already, so like, hey, not even gonna say it again.
Karma's a bitch.
Guys, I'm not gonna hold y'all. I have to head to brunch. I'm gonna be late. Literally, we're here yapping. I'm gonna be late.
Yappers
On that
FC.
note, the Yappers episode is over.
Yappity,
I have to go. Shout out to you, Diane, for coming through. Thank you guys
Love
for
you so
watching.
much.
We love y'all so much.
Whoa.
Yeah. You wanna tell them what to find you?
Yeah.
Bye.
Find me on the interwebs at Kaucasity on every platform. If you try and find me on Twitter, you're a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
At your own risk.
Don't fucking
At
go
your
on my
own
Twitter.
risk.
If you go on my Twitter, that's on you. If you go on my,
In less risky
go on my
endeavors.
Instagram, my TikTok. I'm so
The
cute.
cute
Right,
pages.
I'm so
Y'all
cute.
have the cute
I'm so
pages.
cute, quirky.
Please.
I'm so cute, and quirky
Yeah.
there. Twitter,
Yeah, and follow
degenerate.
Side A, you know,
Everywhere,
and all the places.
Follow Side
you
A
know.
on everywhere you follow people.
And we'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys
You listen to
soon.
the podcast. Bye.